On this episode of doing fun stuff your spouse loves, I'm currently laying under a truck waiting for him to find a specific tool that he cannot find, that he sorry put away. But obviously, we can't find now. Bye!
Everyone, welcome back. This is your first time to the channel. I'm Travis.
And I'm Danielle.
And this is the Hale Haven Homestead.
But it's not. So to recap, we finished the cabin and bathhouse for the Hale Haven grandparents, and they are starting to move in and make it their own. Last season, you saw our camper, which we used as a bathhouse. But now we need something more livable for our small family.
Yep. And then as my parents have gotten older, cabin lifestyle has begun to make more sense to them than the mobile trailer. With that being said, they have graciously decided to pass along their much larger fifth wheel to us. And the beginning of that process is going to begin a small renovation to make it our own.
So that's why we bought this bad boy at the beginning of last year to start that transition.
And to begin all that, we need to install the gooseneck and then the fifth wheel hitch so that we can go get the fifth wheel itself.
Let's get to work.
Let's do it. So here's what I got. Here are the part numbers for anyone interested. I'll also link in the description here. The first thing that we need to do, or that I've already done, is drop the spare tire. We also are going to need to relocate an exhaust bracket. But the first thing to do is really kind of potentially the most daunting, and that's drilling a hole in your bed. This is going to end up being the fourth time I've done an install like this, so really it's kind of nothing new, but in the very beginning this was always the hardest part for me. Finding the correct location and getting the hole drilled properly can be hard, but in this sense it's going to be really easy because there's a dimple inside the casting of the bed itself. So let's get that found. Let's get our pilot hole drilled, and then let's get the 4-inch hole drilled for the gooseneck itself. Whew. All right, there's the pilot hole done. Now we do everything else from the inside of the bed.
The drill. Okay.
Are you serious? And that's it. We'll get you a new drill. All right, well, let's try this again with a corded drill. See if this one burns out. Hopefully not.
I love the optimism, honey.
Alright, I'm not covering the exhaust holes.
Yay!
Yay! Alright, now let's go and vacuum up all these metal shavings, climb underneath and make sure that we clean up there, and then hopefully everything's lined up. And then we're on to the next step. So the reason I'm taking such good care here is the last time I did this, I didn't clean up underneath, and I ended up getting a piece of metal. I don't know if it was in my hair from leaning down on the ground, but I ended up getting it in the corner of my eye. I'm lucky to have my vision. I wasn't wearing safety glasses. I didn't clean up. I was in a hurry to get finished, just kind of like I am right now, and I paid for it. I'm lucky to get away with what I did. So let's quickly get all of these metal shavings up, and then we can start installing the hitch itself.
Come on in, honey. Did you find your tool?
Yeah, let's try this again.
Okay.
Now I need an extension. You got one of those?
No, I like my natural hair. I don't really like extensions.
The first thing to do in this case will be reposition the exhaust down to make room for the cross members of the hitch assembly itself. Usually the OEM setup, the exhaust retains its stock position, but in order to install the OEM hitch after the truck has been built would require the removal of the bed, and that's just really not an option in this case. And then really the final setup step here is to relocate some of the wiring to make room for the bracket itself. This option is literally made for the DIY person to do after the fact, and its install and setup end up going together fairly easily. What I'm not doing a great job showing here are the two brackets that hold the cross members themselves, and then the actual cross members going in are two pieces that are held together by a bracket in the middle, and we're going to see that here coming up.
Okay, we got the cross members in, put the carriage bolts in. Now we are putting the cross member brace in.
Do you need me to get under there to hold it up?
I don't think so. Oh,
Hey-o.
I know, my fingers are up.
I have a pile of them here.
Or these bolts just keep
Spinning on them. Oh, the carriage bolts. So you got to keep them all the way down to keep them locked. Yeah, that's the only problem.
If I push that one out of the way to at least get this one.
Yeah, to get it started maybe.
Oh, my arms are just getting tired at this point.
I know. We've been at it for quite a while.
Okay, I need that locking.
Got the wife doing the hard work.
My arms hurt.
So we didn't really video this part because it was really difficult. It took both of us. So it was individual cross members that are holding, they're gonna hold up the box. Let me see if I can show you. So there's my beautiful wife. So we have these two, can I show you over here? Yeah, okay, good. These two cross members go to each of the plates that we just put around the frame, and then you had to hold this bracket is what connected both, and these are carriage bolts, so they're trapped inside the bracket on the inside. So you literally had to hold it up, pull the carriage bowl down once you've had this up, but there's two pieces here, so they wanted to go either other freaking direction. My hands were cramping up, her hands were cramping up, but we got them in. So the next thing to do will be to hold up this center section, put all the through bolts here, here. That might be it. And then we're gonna go and we're going to tighten everything down to the proper torque specs. And we're gonna put the gooseneck in, and then we're gonna call this job done for today. Of course, in typical Hailhaven fashion, in my head, this job took 2 hours, and here we are about 5 hours later. Burned out a drill. Took about 2 hours to cut that first hole that should have only taken about 25 seconds. So maybe my time frame wasn't off too terribly, but it still wasn't correct. So let's just plug along and get this done. So I either greatly overestimated my abilities or underestimated the difficulty of this thing, because it's damn near 7 o'clock in the evening now and we're not done. My wife had to leave for a church meeting, and my mom's been watching the kids damn near all day, and I need to get those little rugrats before my mom really gets sick of it, because I'm actually gonna need her up again tomorrow. So I'll check back in when I get back on this tomorrow, finish it up. So here's what I got done. So we got everything installed loosely, other than the final bolts. So the center section is in here. Let's see if I can do this without falling over. So we got the center section. That's where the gooseneck will go. The two cross members there with the brace holding everything together. This was the most difficult part. Everything's in loosely. Obviously there's some more hardware we gotta attach on each corner, and then I think on each side of the braces over there. So everything's loosely installed. We just have to finalize the installation of the bolts and then tighten everything up. But that's gonna have to wait till tomorrow. So I will see you
the next morning.
Hey, here we are again, another day. I come armed with a couple more extensions and universal bits to hopefully get these hardest bolts first. The first four, obviously the most difficult. It's funny, sitting here in the middle of this project on day 3, I think. I'm going probably 7 out of 10 difficulty. And not that I'm not enjoying it, but I picture what they're doing and they would do it in a shop. The suspension fully extended on a lift, standing under it at a reasonable height. It would be easy to get the torque wrench in to get these first 4 bolts, and I'm not complaining because I'm saving quite a bit of money doing this myself. But we're gonna jack the truck up and we're gonna see if we can get these first 4 to make that sweet click that I'm looking for, because the other 10 bolts are gonna be super easy. So let's get the truck jacked up and let's get this project finished so we can get the 5th wheel put together. So I need to get the trailer in here to put the awning on it and clean it and do the wheel bearings, and the list goes on and on. So let's go.
I'm going to leave this next little bit in here, even if it's just a little bit sped up, to illustrate just how difficult these first 4 bolts were. Being on the inside of the bed on top of the axle and requiring 150 pounds of torque, they were hard. So once we got these done, it wasn't too hard. But really, at the end of the day, finding the position to contort your body in and where to plant your feet to get some leverage, wow.
There you go.
But not right now.
I don't need your help pushing up.
Okay, there. That final click couldn't have been sweeter. Beautiful music that we had going on. So that's going to be it for this time. We appreciate you all watching, following along with this little bit of an escapade. Hopefully it wasn't too embarrassing. Two Amateurs Garage strikes again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.